Good evening, everybody, and welcome to our February 2020 live, our first one of 2020. I'm Shaz, local volunteer for East Cornwall and West Devon.
I'm Kathy, IBD Nurse at Derriford.
And I'm Lindsay, another volunteer for East Cornwall, West Devon. Hi.
Oh, someone said hello.
Happy New Year to you all.
Good. I think that's Danny.
No. Oh, is it you? Is it
No,
Dan?
not me.
Oh, it's not.
No.
I can't read without glasses. Excuse me, everybody.
Oh, no, it's Danny Hooper Bennett joined.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
watching. Good evening, everybody.
Oh, we've got Danny in the corner.
Hi.
Yes, behind the camera as usual is Danny,
Yes. Reading
making
questions.
sure she
Realised
can
it's
tell us
your
who's
wine
signed
glass,
in.
That's why I couldn't move it.
Shh.
Are your two wine glasses in the picture?
No, we
It's
haven't
just
got one.
mine,
We
you
haven't got
know
it.
it.
It's yours.
Right. They're lying, everyone. Right. Down to it.
Okay, down to it. I think you've got a comment you want to read out first.
Yeah,
Danny.
if you are following us, good evening. If you could give us a hi to make sure that we can hear you all, that would be great.
No, that they can hear us.
Yeah, sorry. Yes.
Kathy knows how this works.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
We apologise.
exactly.
It's the first one back.
For a long
We haven't done
time.
one for months.
Yeah.
So we've had a comment come in from one of our followers, Chris. Having used the email
Hi,
service
Chris.
this recently, the ability to now email the IBD nurses who get back to us in record time has made it even easier for me to touch base if things start going south. I just wanted to say thank you for once again being your awesome selves, increasing our availability, access to you, and responding in such a lovely manner.
Oh,
Yeah.
We're cutting edge. We've actually got email. Most people had it 20 years ago. But
Don't try and memorise the address there.
no, absolutely, yeah. Soon we'll be Skyping.
Brilliant.
Oh,
Wow.
I think it does make a difference to email though, because
It
if you
makes a big
phone up,
difference.
when you phone back, because
Yeah.
if you're at work, and I
Yeah.
think Chris might be in the same position, and you phone back when you're at work, it could be at a difficult time and you can't answer.
Definitely,
But if you can email back at any time. You
Anytime.
can read that at any
That's the
time. That's
problem, isn't it?
brilliant.
Also, sometimes the questions are just minuscule questions.
Yes.
That you don't need a
Quick
whole
question.
No.
5-minute conversation.
Yeah.
It's just
No.
a quick.
I think the email has, in fact, we've noticed such an increase in the email and a decrease in the calls.
Yeah.
Because most people are at work and they can't sit
Yeah,
there
exactly.
waiting for someone
No.
to call them
No,
back.
no.
So I think that has, yeah. But thank
Yeah.
you, Chris.
Yes. We all agree that's a fantastic
And
tool.
it's nice to have you back again
Yes.
after your sabbatical elsewhere.
Yeah. Yes, that's how we missed the email coming in, because it wasn't in when it came in.
Yes, exactly.
Shouldn't have left.
Exactly.
Shouldn't have left, Chris.
Okay, should we have our first question of the
Yeah.
evening? This is from Hannah.
Hi,
I've been
Hannah.
told that after my
She's watching later.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Not right now.
Okay.
But hi, Hannah, for later.
Hi.
I've been told that after my surgery I may need TPN. Can you explain how this will work and any other possible impact, how to cope with this? What is TPN?
I'm not quite sure why they said after surgery. They normally, well, there's two things. TPN, total parenteral nutrition. So it's everything you need in a drip rather than drinking it. So you have it in a line, a proper line put into your arm or your neck.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that like a
No.
port?
Yes. Yeah. Or a long line. And we use it preoperatively to maximize nutrition in people with IBD that are quite unwell. We do use it post-operatively, and I'm not sure what context they mentioned it to you in, whether or not they meant post-operatively on the ward you'd need it for a while. That often happens, but it's unusual, rare for someone to need to go home with it. We do have lots of people on TPN at home, but they're few numbers, not that many people. On the whole, people come in for a period of TPN before their operation, have it on the ward during their operation, have it post-operatively, and then come off it.
Right.
Okay, so it's a short-term
Thing on the whole, but
right.
we do have people on home TPN,
right.
Which
and they're
means
people who would not be able to absorb any of their nutrients. So they've either got completely short bowel syndrome, or they've got what we call intestinal failure. So the remaining bowel they've got left is not working for whatever reason. And those people would be on TPN for medium to long term. So sometimes people go home with it for, say, 3 months, 6 months if they've lost a lot of weight, and that will put the weight on. And other times, if there's no sort of like, if they're going to have this problem forever, and there are small numbers of people that will need TPN long term forever, and they're looked after by our fantastic nutritional colleagues who happen to share an office with me.
Oh, that's handy.
Yeah, exactly. Because often the patients overlap.
Yeah.
A lot of their patients are our patients.
I often wondered what the ones in the office were.
There you go
see?
then.
We even
So
talked
they
about
deal
that
with
the other day.
they
There
deal
we
with
go.
TPN. So yeah, on the whole, it would be a short-term thing.
So you can still eat as well.
You can eat as
but
well.
Basically, sometimes
Oh,
what
you
you're
can.
eating isn't staying in
Just
you.
isn't
Yeah.
doing anything.
So a lot of people, like post-operatively, if they're not, if they're doing well, which we would hope you would do, Hannah, they can eat and drink normally, but they just need extra because they've either lost a lot of weight beforehand, and it's good for healing, or they're struggling with their needs. We do have people that don't eat anything, that have got significant strictures, or they've got an ischemic bowel and they will never be able to eat again.
They've got a what bowel?
Oh, ischemic bowel, but that's not IBD, that's another subject.
Oh, okay.
And they are on long-term TPN. Yeah, so that would be forever.
Having spoken to Hannah at the weekend, I think it was the not eating that she was a little bit concerned about, because she said she likes her food, so she wants to be able to.
I mean, there would be no
you know,
reason unless you were really. I mean, if pre-operatively, if you're not maintaining your food because you've got strictures and you're vomiting, then that would be a good thing to have TPN pre-operatively. We often bring people in for a period of time, but they can physically still eat, but if they're getting strictures and they're getting vomiting, then sometimes it's not a good idea. Yeah.
Would it also be used in cases, say you had a surgery and you've got an infection afterwards and you're just vomiting constantly?
Exactly.
Then they'd put it in.
Exactly. So if you have an operation and you've got a, like you say, an ileus, so your bowel doesn't work properly and you've been vomiting because your bowel's gone to sleep, then they do TPN. We do TPN then, and it's normally for a couple of weeks or so.
Yeah.
It's good stuff, TPN. It does have some risks because it's a big line going into your body. So infection is always very, it is a concern. But 9 times out of 10, people don't have any problems. They're so good these days with cleaning of the lines and the techniques that they give the TPN through.
Fingers crossed, Hannah, you won't need it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Surgery
And if you do, it'll be
is
short term.
Yes. Well, I hope that helps, Hannah, when you watch this back. I go for another question.
Yeah.
This is from Chris. Recently, I was told that despite my Crohn's likely being in remission, my previous resection site has now narrowed to a third of what it should be. Whilst there is no immediate threat and the plan is to monitor the situation, what should I do to minimise future drama? Is it still is it still a low residue diet approach, or is there a different approach concerning potential narrowings?
Why would it narrow?
On
Why would it narrow? Because of ulceration and stuff.
Yeah, often.
When
And
they heal, it's scar
fibrosis as
tissue
well.
and
That's
things,
right.
yeah.
And if it's been, I mean, it's like anything that you join together. If you join together a hose pipe, it's never going to be quite as good as having the unjoined hose pipe.
You've seen on my hose pipe. Spurs everywhere.
And it's the weakest link.
Yeah.
At that point. So most people with Crohn's disease will have some disease recurrence, even if it's very mild, within a year. But years down the line, it may just get a little bit more narrowed as time goes on. It doesn't necessarily mean it's active. It's difficult to know. The low residue diet is probably the best option. If there's no activity there, which I don't think there was with you, Chris, then drugs wouldn't play a part. If there's a lot of ulcers around the area, then we would give you drugs. It's really just a matter of monitoring it. We can, if the area narrows quite significantly, you can have a balloon dilatation. So you can have a colonoscopy, where they just dilate it up a little bit. So that happens with fibrotic strictures. But on the whole, it's just, watch and wait, really. There's not a lot you can do yourself apart from sticking to the low residue diet.
What is the low residue diet?
So just low fibre.
Just what?
Low fibre.
Low fibre. Oh, well, that's like, so when you're having a flare.
Exactly.
Chips and cake.
Exactly.
Chips, cake and chocolate.
You know all about that, don't you, Nancy?
I do.
How do you get on with the low residue diet?
Well, obviously, I've been on it quite a lot over the last few years. You get used to it. I mean, I don't think actually I eat much different now because I've got so used to eating it. But I found with some of my strictures as well, because they were so bad, some of them, that it was the case of low residue, but also as mushy as I could possibly stomach to make anything go smoothly.
More easily.
So the baby food you prepare for Maisie, you eat as well.
I will do soon, I'm sure. But before before that, I was doing like mashed potato and things like that, you know. So,
Yeah, that's true. Like mushy diet can help.
yeah, I think it just
If
depends
it's,
on
if
how
it's very
severe
loud,
it is.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mushy peas then, Chris.
Yeah.
Chris is saying, I can rock
Packets
chips
of
and
mushy
cake. Sounds like a great plan.
Yeah, me too.
Make sure the chips aren't too crispy.
Okay. Soggy chips,
Yeah,
mushy
sorry,
peas.
yeah.
That's all right.
Yeah.
No, they can hurt. Sticky ones can hurt.
Can I-
Sticky peas.
No, the
Chocolate.
sticky
chocolate
added
you
to the
can
chips.
Just put in your mouth and let it melt.
Yes.
Originally.
Yeah.
I think I lived.
Oh, look, there's some people on
chicken
there.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
sorry,
that's-
the messages have just come up through now, sorry. Nikki just messaged us and said, going back to TPN, my husband had TPN short term after ileus, is that how you write?
Ileostomy?
Ileocecal resection.
Oh,
surgery.
ileosurgery.
It gave him the nutrients he needed until he was able to recover enough to eat a normal diet.
Oh, yes, I
So
remember
grateful
him.
for Kathy and Dr. Dewey and the team.
Oh,
Yeah.
he looks so well now.
Ah.
He looks so well.
Actually, I
He's done
think
very
Sharon commented on it earlier and said, you saved my life with TPN.
Oh, yes.
When I put the question up on Facebook, which was talking about
Oh,
TPN,
Yeah.
I think Sharon commented, Kathy and the team saved my life with TPN. I'm sure she said that.
Sharon.
Well, I don't know if I want to say,
No,
but,
no. Sorry.
but you would know her.
I know someone called Sharon
Yes.
who's had TPN.
No, it probably is her then.
If you're watching this, Sharon, hope you're feeling good now. But no, it is a lifesaver. And
Yeah.
if you've been very debilitated for a long period of time, and some people have had colitis for years and years and years and years, their bowel isn't in a brilliant shape. It takes time to have surgery. You know, people have to wait around for a bit. And same with Crohn's. When you operate on that, the bowel is so swollen and edematous, and not in a good way, that people have complications post-op. And like Lindsay was just saying, TPN's brilliant for complications post-op because
Yeah.
it
I
just rests
have to
the
say,
gut.
touch wood, I
Yeah.
have managed to avoid it after all
Yeah.
my surgeries.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I've been really lucky.
But people, it does seem like it's quite common that people
It is
have it
common.
quite
We
commonly
use
and
it
and
a
it's
lot.
works
I've heard
really
a lot of
well.
people using it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've
And
just been very fortunate.
It's very common in IBD because people, by nature, their bowels aren't as healthy bowel to start with.
Yes.
So
yeah.
no, but it is a life.
What did you say it was just now? Edematous. Or something?
Edematous, swollen.
Oh, I have to look that up when I come to do the subtitles for
Yes,
this.
the subtitles.
Some of the words I've had to look up.
Charlotte, Christopher James.
Yes, that's Chris who's.
Oh, sorry, yeah, we
Right.
just said that. Yeah.
Stephen says, with regards to Chris's question, I had a stricture problem, but had a laparotomy a few years back, and that seems to have cleared it up.
Good.
So,
Good. Yeah. Sometimes
A
people.
laparotomy.
So a laparotomy. So that's just the scar, the incision.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Right.
So and normally, a stricture repair, and then some people are luckily they don't have any problems for years.
Right.
Sorry.
Cool.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's all right. I've got used to it.
That's good.
so any questions, please keep them coming in. I am seeing them
Uh-huh.
eventually.
I can't read them from here without
No, I
glasses
can't
on.
either.
Okay.
Should wear my glasses to
I
this,
know we should have
really.
just
Yeah,
worn
I
them.
know.
shouldn't we? Would have made sense.
Would you like me to move on to the next question?
Uh-huh.
Fistulas. I have a lump near my anus and it's been suggested it could be a fistula. What is a fistula and how can it be treated?
Do you want to put that in with the other one as well, or should we do them separately? I mean, we can cover this one first,
Okay.
I suppose.
Right,
I know there's another one on
I was going to say
fistulas.
fistulas can be in various places, can't they?
They
So,
can. A fistula, put simply, is an abnormal tract.
Tracts, yeah.
Yeah. So it goes from one place to another. It can go from the bowel to the skin. So you could get a little hole developing onto the skin. That's called an intracutaneous fistula, which means
You're going
bowel
to have great fun
to
doing
skin,
subtitles.
bowel to skin.
I think she's doing it on purpose.
Yes, yes.
I'm trying to think of all the really, really long words. Or you can have like an internal fistula from bowel to bowel or to another organ. So you could have a bowel to bladder, which is called a colovesical fistula. Or you can have perianal fistulas, probably the most common. That's what.
So they're the
most of our
ones by your
patients in your
anus.
tail end.
Yes.
Yeah, they're not pleasant.
No.
And
They're not.
pleasant. You could say a little bit about. Do you want to or not?
Yeah, I have no secrets
How
from
you
people.
dealt with it? Because it's,
Well,
it's really difficult, isn't it? It's not nice.
It's a hard one for them to sort of diagnose as well, because of
Mm.
course you do present with an abscess first, and
Yes.
not every abscess has got a fistula
No,
behind
that's
it.
right. That's
I
right.
think I had 5 abscesses drained before, surgically drained before they found
The
the
fistulas.
fistula.
Yes. Yeah.
And then I think we tried to seal it about 7 or 8 times before realising, because they then got another abscess because they were trying to seal one end but not the other. So then we put Seton through it, like a surgical string to keep it open and drain constantly. And I've had that now for nearly coming up 10 years.
Must be, mustn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, Setons are brilliant. They are, like Lindsay says, they're like a little piece of a rubber piece of string, really, or a tiny tube that keeps the area open and stops the build up of the abscess inside, so it just drains.
It was the only thing that stopped my pain.
Is hanging out your bum.
It loops round,
That's
so it
a little
goes
bit of a
up your
downside.
bum and then comes out through the tract and then ties.
But it's.
I only know that because I saw the second question that's coming up about this in a minute. It was talking about the string hanging out your bum, and I was like, "Oh, I didn't know that."
Yeah, it's but you don't feel it unless you accidentally catch it or something. You don't feel it, but it's just it takes away the abscess building, so it takes away the pain basically. Yeah, I mean, mine's a godsend. I call it my tail.
They are very successful, aren't they? And I mean, a lot of the time these days, people who have multiple fistulas, who have maybe 2 or 3 of the Setons in, do also need a biologic drug to improve, because it's all very well. It's like a sticking plaster, you know. You can have a Seton there, but unless you actually sort out the Crohn's in that area, it's not going to improve.
Yeah, when is the next drug coming out for me to try?
Oh, we need a new drug.
Oh, we'll have to give you a fecal transplant live on a line.
Might draw the line there. We've been on.
If you want to read the other one on the fistula, because
Yes,
he mentions a Seton.
yes. I have previously had a fistula in which a Seton was used to repair it at the time, and not in Plymouth. I was not given a great deal of support on how to deal with this, both physically in terms of going to the toilet with it and keeping it clean, and mentally having a piece of string coming out of my bum. Do you have any advice, as I fear I may be in need of this again in the near future?
There you are.
I think, yeah, I've had it with, before my stoma, I had my Seton, so I do know what it's like to go to the toilet with it. It's not easy. I found wipes, baby wipes, or like, sorry, I'm going to have to say a brand, but an Andrex wipe. They're a godsend with it. Sitting, if you can get a sitz bath, I got one offered online, I'll just say that. A cheap, nice place online, and they help because you can just soak it as well. It's really the only advice.
What, to keep it clean?
Yeah.
Keeps it, but it keeps it soft and gentle, as opposed to, you know, toilet paper can be quite hard. You're rubbing constantly, and if you can undo them as well if you constantly sort of thing. So you
B-day.
B-days are good. B-days
I mean,
are brilliant.
I think the other thing with Setons is it does depend who's put it in, where it's been done, if it's something being done as an emergency, if you need to have it redone. When they're first put in under an emergency, it you know, as in you go in with an acute abscess, they can be really quite tough. You know, they can tie them in a knot, or and they're not very comfortable, and that can be quite distressing. Over time, they will loosen up. They will loosen up and soften.
A couple of them been too tight. I've had one where the knot actually turned and went inside. That was painful. But in the long run, if you know, I mean, I'd say in 10 years I've had less problems.
But it's worth. I think if you're having a lot of problems with it, a Seton shouldn't cause you massive problems. If it's hanging right out or it's causing you distress, they can always and easily be replaced. So if you are local now, it might be worthwhile if it's causing you problems to get one of the colorectal surgeons.
Mark Coleman is excellent.
Yeah, all are. Like Mr. Dewey's brilliant, and Mr. Smorek are other colorectal, and they can. You know, they regularly see people with this sort of problem, and every 6 months they'll take them into theatre, do an examination under anaesthetic, and maybe change it. So it shouldn't cause you a lot of problems. So if it is, then it needs to probably be replaced.
So I don't think I've had a year yet, but I haven't had it reviewed.
So they should be reviewed, really.
But it's not a problem. You're in and out within a matter of hours. It's not painful then.
No.
But yeah, it is difficult. And psychologically, do you ever get used to it? Well, I think you just learn to ignore it, really. You do get used to it. If it's really long and it's irritating you, or you're self-conscious, then you definitely want to get it changed.
Need to be changed,
but generally, you shouldn't be able to see it or,
No, you shouldn't.
or even feel
No,
it really.
no,
I mean, I don't
no.
feel mine anymore. You definitely don't see it. So
Will
yeah.
you eventually not need it then?
No, they
No.
don't. We used to take them out years and years ago. It was always the thing that you'd had them in for 6 months or a year and then they'd be removed. But now we know that the minute you take them out, the abscess builds up,
Oh, right.
and you just get another one.
Oh.
That's not always the
Definitely.
case, but 9 times out of 10.
We just had a message, a comment. Daniel says, I have 3 and had 5 at one point.
Oh yes, I keep saying
5
that.
Setons.
Yeah, yes. Some people have had
Multiple
terrible,
ones, yeah.
really difficult
All
perianal
going
disease.
through the same
Yeah.
area?
No, different little.
Oh, different little
Yeah.
bits.
Well, they'll be the
Oh.
same. It'll be through the same area, but there'll be different exits.
Exits,
Yeah.
basically,
yeah.
So they'll have
Oh,
different
Daniel.
sequence, yeah.
Perianal Crohn's is not a nice thing to have.
No.
It's not nice, but it is much more manageable now than it ever used to be.
Yeah.
So if you're on biological drugs, which you should be, if you've got perianal disease that's significant, then
Mm.
they should be on something like that.
She should be, but she ain't. That's
Yes,
it.
that's what it's
That's
saying.
because
Oh,
I've
actually.
tried them all.
And you've had a baby.
And I've just had a baby.
Heather.
Oh, Heather's there.
Hello,
Hi,
evening,
Heather.
ladies.
And Heather, and Trevor Cowley is saying, hello, Mum.
Hello.
Daisy's obviously watching. And
Trevor.
I was going to say,
Trevor is that your dad?
Trevor is my dad.
He's
but
saying
he's
hello,
looking
Mum.
after Maisie, my daughter.
Yeah.
I was thinking
Because that's
that.
a little bit strange.
Yeah.
We know what he means.
Yeah.
and we've had a comment from Amanda, not a question, just wanted to say what an amazing nurse, most supportive boss Kathy is.
Oh,
Boss.
Amanda's on new biologics now.
Oh, right. Is she the lady who came and
yes. She rang
question?
you up and she
asked?
spoke and
She
she
asked
got the
questions or
job.
something, yeah. Yes, that's right.
Hi, Amanda.
Yeah.
She might
Hi,
be-
Amanda.
She's going to netball.
Oh, is she? Oh, good luck.
Amanda has been a lovely asset to the team. And
Oh,
she now deals with all the biological
I
drugs
believe we
and
have a new
patients.
IBD nurse as well.
That's her.
That's her.
Yeah,
is
so
it?
she's,
right.
her
okay.
title is
Specialising
biological,
in- yeah.
biological
Okay.
nurse.
Yeah.
Sounds like
Washing powder.
She
She
does
does your washing.
woman. Yeah. No, but no, she's a lovely member of the team. So yeah, we're
We look
really
forward to
enjoying
meeting
working
you
with her,
soon.
and I'm sure
Yeah.
you
Oh
will
yeah,
feel
all
it.
right, thank you.
I hope
No
not
need to rub
to.
it in.
Just going back to the fistulas, Daniel said, yes, it's not been pleasant, but as you mentioned, you get used to it.
Oh, right. Well, that's good.
I'm sorry about your struggles, Daniel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Daniel's had a really, really hard time recently. Hope you're feeling a bit better, Dan.
5.
Yeah,
I feel for him. One's bad enough.
he's had all sorts going on.
Yeah.
Bless him.
Right. Any other questions? We've got about 7 minutes. Do we want to give a bit of a plug to Walk It while we're
Wow.
Yeah,
we
Our
do.
pub's coming
Do
up
it.
as well.
Yeah, we've got several
in
things to
case any
plug
more
actually.
questions come in and I
We've
can.
got
Yeah,
a few
if a
events,
question
haven't
comes
we?
in. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we've got, first of all, we've
The
got
pub quiz.
the pub quiz, which is on
26th.
Thursday, the 26th of March.
Yeah.
I think it's a Thursday, 26th
Definitely
of
the
March.
26th of March.
And it's at the Brook Inn, starting at 8 o'clock. Yes, 8 o'clock sharp. So that's not just turn up at 8 o'clock, turn up before that. And if you want to book a meal for the pub, then phone up and book a meal beforehand, but you don't have to book a table for the quiz. You can just turn up.
And how many per team is it? Is it six?
Max of 6 people
6 people.
and 10 quid for the team. So, you know, if you've got 4 people in the team, it's only £2.50, which I think is really cheap.
Are there low residue options at the pub?
They do bangers and mash. and
Yes.
Can't go wrong.
And they
No,
do
it's
salmon
all
as
They
well.
do chips.
They do chips.
They do chips. They do chips.
Yeah.
I hope Dr.
I don't know about
David's not
chocolate
watching
yet.
this. He won't be happy with
They do
chips.
cake. They definitely do
Yeah.
cake.
Chips and cake
Yeah,
are
chips
fine.
and cake, we're all right. We're
Oh,
sorted.
don't listen to this, Dr. David. I'm mortified.
We're eating broccoli.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And kefir.
Yes.
Heather
No, I'm not.
just said Amanda is so lovely, and Daniel says yes, thank you, Kathy.
Oh, all right. That's
good.
good. Other things we've got coming up.
So after that, we
Walk
can walk
It.
it.
Walk It, which is on Saturday, the 30th of
30th.
May.
And
So-
it will be Central Park again.
Volunteer
yeah.
t-shirt,
Yeah.
volunteer t-shirt, or a purple one like this if you're walking. £14 per adult, £7 for a child, and you can get a
£5 for your dog's
bandana for the
They're
dog for
so
a £5.
lovely. The dog bandana. I
They
can
are.
recommend it. Lindsay's mum bought me and not
Yes,
me.
yeah.
Bought my dog a new one.
Oh, did she?
She did. And Dizzy, I'm sure, will be on our website supporting her pretty soon.
Yeah.
Cara was in the photos.
I know.
Yeah.
Doggies are
We
very
had
important.
a dogs only thick corner, didn't we?
We
With
did.
all the photos on. Yeah.
I think that was Ursula who was taking
That's
loads of
right, it
photos
was.
of the dogs,
Yes.
wasn't she?
Charlotte says, Kathy, where's your purple top?
She never wears a purple.
She's so
She always does think about the
She
purple top,
always
doesn't she?
Every
She
time.
knows you don't
She
like purple.
loves it, yeah. And also,
Well done, Charlotte.
she's still got a photo of me in my purple top, looking like sort of an
What if we get you an
enlarged
orange one? Will you wear the orange
No,
one?
we've tried the orange.
No.
We actually held it up against her in one of these lives.
I'm so pale that I don't do well in these
We've
colours.
still got a
pale.
video with her wearing a purple
I'm
top.
pale.
And
But she did
Charlotte's
wear one
still
once.
got that
Yes.
photo, and she
Yes.
sends it to me occasionally because
Well
it's
done,
so
Charlotte.
bad.
Yes.
I look like an overgrown grape. Just like with a little head on the top. It was awful.
Overgrown grape.
Anyway,
Fantastic.
thanks, Charlotte. Thanks for mentioning it again.
We'll have to get one of the kids' ones, the white with the purple.
Yes.
lines.
Yeah.
Better, yeah.
Any more questions? We've got 4 minutes. Is there anything else that you wanted to cover? Or
Oh, we're doing pig
we-
racing after that.
We've
aren't
got pig
we?
racing.
Pig racing at the end of the year. as
Yeah,
well.
that's in October. I think it's the.
I can't remember the date. If I'm honest, it's on our website. But yeah,
We keep putting up posts to save the date for things later on in the year. We'll be doing letterboxing as well in the summer, so be able to buy your clue sheets. So
Brilliant.
we're doing lots.
Yeah.
We're doing lots.
Lots on.
There was something a little bit sadder we wanted to say something
Yeah.
about, and that was we were sorry to hear about Lisa, who was a volunteer for Exeter Network, obviously one of our colleagues, and unfortunately she passed away in December, I think it was. So we want to say our thoughts go out to her family and friends, and everybody knew her. Some people we know watch this sometimes from Exeter, so if you do, we were really sorry to hear about
Thoughts are with
Lisa.
you
She
all.
was a lovely lady.
Yeah, very sad.
Oh,
anything else?
Oh. yes, from Donna. Once I've had my starter doses of infusion, how long will I have to stay after each one?
I know exactly who this
I was going
is.
to say, do we know what infusion she's having?
I know exactly who this is. Yes, you will, I'm afraid. You only have to stay for an hour, Donna. So
That's what she said. How long? Wasn't it?
is that what the
How long do I
question
have to
was?
How long
stay?
will I have to stay
Yeah.
after
Yeah,
each one?
it's only a 30-minute infusion, and then you stay for an hour, and then you can go back to work. Get back to work, young
Tell her
lady.
she can have 4 hours there.
yeah.
I just want to go back
We'll
to
keep
work.
you for a little bit longer if you like. Yeah.
Do you give them tea and a biscuit after?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Do you?
tea and
Yeah.
biscuit.
Well, that's changed since I was there.
No, but you've always been quite
I
good.
just got adrenaline and
Oh,
and then staying for 8 hours.
yeah. Okay. We'll take Lucy out of the equation. Most people.
Most normal
Don't
people.
tell Donna that. She'll be really panicking.
In fairness, that was just one of the drugs. So, you know,
Oh.
well, annoying. But, you know.
Oh, she's anxious enough as it is.
I'm
Bless
sorry.
her. You'll be fine, Donna.
Lindsay's just a problem all the time, Donna.
Yeah,
okay?
with everything.
Lindsay's a problem with
Yeah.
everything. Doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
don't worry.
And
Yours
the
is
consultants
fine.
and surgeons and Kathy all agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the lovely Amanda will come down and see you. So
Yes.
you'll be all right. You'll be all right.
Danny's taking it rap over here.
No,
All
but
right,
another
then.
comment come in from Jojo. Hi ladies, I've had resections, a fistula post-surgery and TPN for a few months, then had mine removed surgically by Mr. Dewey. Kathy, as ever, is amazing, and Dr. Hayward, otherwise known in my house as the A-Team. I just want to thank you all for your continued support. Really, it means so much.
Oh,
Was that Jojo?
Jojo.
Oh, right.
Oh,
We've
thank
got
you.
a few different people appearing, I think, tonight.
Yeah, we
It's
have.
nice. It's nice to see you all. So,
Mm.
you know,
Absolutely.
It's really lovely. We
And it's
haven't
really
done
nice-
one for ages.
No,
know.
We haven't
ages.
done one
It's
since.
really nice. You
well,
can go back over the old ones now.
You haven't done one for about a year.
I was asking you about it.
I know. It's only your fault. Oh, I forgot to set up that I was going to put a sign on the toilet saying dressing room for Kathy. She was asking for a dressing room recently. Can you believe it?
I'm always available.
Hair and makeup.
Didn't you? Was it Lucy Lon? Who took my
No,
place?
we did one in September, which was the pregnancy one,
Yeah.
which was
Yeah.
Lindsay, Heather, and
Yeah.
Hannah.
Yeah.
And the one before that was the last one we did. Was back in May, I think.
Yeah,
So we
it was a
haven't
long
we did
time
May, then we didn't do
Yeah.
one until September, and now we haven't done.
I
one
was a little
since.
bit busy at the end of the year. So, yeah.
We'll
Yeah.
try and get more going.
Yeah.
Just had a comment from Sharon. I'm so much better now, thanks to Kathy, Chris, and everyone else. What about the ladies' football match organised by Katie Mace?
What? What ladies' football match?
Oh,
We
We'd
don't
love
know
to
about
tell.
Sharon,
We would love to know
If
about
you
that.
let us know.
Can you message me or
Yeah.
message us, please? Because we don't know anything about
No.
a football match.
We don't, but
is
we
it
would definitely
local?
publish about. We will post about it if they're
Thank you very
raising money
much,
for
whoever
Crohn's
did it,
colitis.
and we will, you know,
Yeah.
obviously we'd love to hear about it.
We would.
Fantastic.
You might even join in.
Yeah, Sharon will
Well,
be. Sharon will be
why?
in
Why
goal.
would you do that
You'll be
to
in goal,
us?
won't you?
No, I prefer to run around. But if you're getting goals,
Message from
it's
Sammy.
you.
All the IBD nurses are lovely at Derriford and really helpful. Lots of love for you guys
Oh,
tonight.
I'm feeling the
you
love.
are.
Yeah.
You've been paying people.
Actually, in the clinic today, I was giving her.
Yeah.
No, it's because Emma's back. That's why.
Oh.
I don't mean it, you know I don't.
That's right, yeah.
You know that.
Maybe we should get another IBD nurse on for a change. No,
Yeah,
That's true. Like
Yeah,
everything.
you might get a bit bored.
No
by
one
this,
else
to be
will
honest.
come.
Someone else might wear a purple t-shirt.
They might. Right, I'm going to get Emma or Judy on here with a purple t-shirt, and I'm going to sit in the wings in my orange. Is that all right?
Yeah.
Are we at the end?
Are we at the end already?
We've run out of time already.
Wow, that went really, really fast. So we'll definitely have to do another one. I mean, we'll get a date for you when we're ready. But don't forget, quiz on the 26th of March and walk it on the 30th of May. Please sign up for the
Yeah,
walk
volunteer
it.
or walk, either. We don't mind. Just
Yeah.
sign up and help.
Bring a dog.
Yeah,
Yes.
bring a dog, bring your kids.
Yeah.
They can have t-shirts too.
Yeah.
Not the dogs, the kids.
It's just really good fun. So, yes, so until the next time, thank you very much and goodbye.
Bye.